Thank you, Bernard. Yeah, let me share my screen so we can see like the. Let me close this. Okay, this is the agenda. Oh no, this is the funding proposal. Let me close some tabs. So, oh yeah, like basically like I'm going to post like the funding proposal for advice process today, probably after this call, and yeah, so maybe like we can get the proposal up for the next before the community call Monday. Yeah, it would be. We can post it before the community call and we can announce it there. So yeah, we can have like the proposal ready on conviction voting. So and so basically like yeah, I've been talking with Rex Ivy and with the budget we had like previously. It can get like all the data standardization and the sample work can get funded from there, and it's fine. It's not very expensive. So yeah, I wanted to update that. And then also, yeah, any question regarding this budget? Like, it's basically like 16K, but since we have like 5K, it's going to be like 11K around. I don't know if you guys had the chance to read it. This doc is being up for quite some time, but yeah, unless like there is any objection on something, I'll post it for advice process for the community today.
Okay.
Okay. I think like yeah, we can talk about this spreadsheet. Yeah, this document like I was watching it the other day, and for example, like this cat looks like it's open, like the stewards is not there. I mean, I didn't track everything, but yeah, just looking around, like it doesn't look updated, like or at least conviction voting. Snapshot. What was the last one? The water proposal. Vote water. There's a single choice.
Yeah,
Water is
I
okay.
I updated
Oh,
some of
but
the
there's
sheets here, but I would need your I mean I entered all the recent votes that we had in
mhm.
different platforms, but I would need your help in updating the other columns, like for example, in the advice process, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I have checked this one, advance the proposal, and then the single choice. These are some columns that I'm not sure what to write
No,
in there.
we can. Yeah, we can do it now.
Yeah,
Uh, okay. So the last one. I mean, I feel like this is like at least this is like the last
yeah,
one.
yes.
This is the
Yeah, that's the
date.
last one.
Uh,
But I don't know about the other
like
information.
this, for example, like this one pass it. So instead of close it, we should say like it passed. Yes votes. We can just go here. It's 33. It's 373K and 81%. So this is the token. This is the percentage. Abstain. This is the abstain 71K. This is the percentage, and then this is for the no votes. 16K 3.5. This is correct. Total voters 21. It's here. Then it passed. It's still relevant. Failed to meet quorum. Like yes. Order multi is called in response. Then yeah, that's correct. And then rank choice.
No, I didn't find any.
Gitcon. Gitcon is the last one. Let
Yeah,
me see.
it's there.
Okay. And yeah, did you
I
did
didn't
that
add.
or it was ratio?
It was already there
Okay. Okay.
when I checked it last week.
Okay. So if there
So
is
I
a new,
didn't add. No, there's nothing new in the rank choice voting.
yeah, but if there was a new one, do you know how ratio get all the information, or do you have any doubt?
I think we just have to check all the platforms and the data sources.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, for
Yeah.
rank choice, you just have to check a snapshot if there are newer votes.
Yeah. Ratio did a great job
Yeah.
here to onboard new people too.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then for the yeah,
yeah.
the advice process is updated.
Mm-hmm.
I updated this one. And then the conviction voting, I think what I haven't added here yet is the stewards funding.
Okay. And then also like ratio was kind of updating those, like the cat funding, it was open and
Mm-hmm.
then it got passed and executed. Marketing team also passed it. You can see, yeah, it's
Okay,
like
yeah.
yeah, I mean, you probably don't if you feel like this is too much work. It's also not so important. Like
No, no, no.
uh,
I missed the marketing part. I thought that because when I saw comms team DAO, I
mhm.
I thought the because I just saw that the one in the gardens right now is for animation and video production. I missed it. I thought this marketing team is the same as that one. So yeah,
Yeah,
so there are still two
yeah, it's
votes that need
different.
to get added.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different proposal. Like actually, it's important. Like we get them all. Otherwise, like when you make where's the money, right? Like if you do all the accounting and if you miss one proposal, then you mix. Like let's say like we don't put this proposal, and then when we do the accounting, it's like where are these $966? So yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
ideally
I'll
we'll have
update
them
this.
all. Okay, and you can also like do the comprobations on the gardens, like all the proposals, and also in the Dune actually. In the gardens you will have like more information, but in the Dune for doing the account, to do the accounting, the Dune is better because it's more simple and you can see all them here. The ones that are this one is active. Okay, our active proposals right now are those three: the animation video production, the stewards, and retroactive funding. And then all the others are executed, and then yeah, just make sure like we have all of those here. But then there you can also get there on them on the this browser will yeah, it worked. So you can see like the open ones, the completed, the removed, the challenge, and yeah, all like the remove probably yeah, this one from stewards, and I don't know what this one is. Probably someone had something and was like, mistake.
Yeah, I think I didn't know. I forgot we could also see this in Dune. I think it's easier to track it there than in Gardens. I was tracking it here in the Gardens,
Yeah,
and yeah, I can use the filter too.
yeah. I think like this part is good to if you want to get some information like it's not in the like the because in this decision tracking ratio was putting who did the proposal, the date. Probably you get the date in June. Yeah, yeah. The date, amount requested. Yeah, you don't see like the amount requested. Like like this is good for doing like the counting to see everything is correct. But in this source you have like more detailed information to feel like this dog, like the tokens that were staked there, and yeah, all those things.
Got it. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
update this
Okay.
tab.
And
That's
Tao voting. Let me check real quick. completed. This is all conviction voting. Yeah, this one was the last one. May 17. Yeah. We also need to update DAO voting. DAO voting, I think it's not here. Yeah, it's not. So the only unit like DAO voting will be tracked in here. So yeah, basically like it's like all these fees that Cliff is voting every period. I think there's two more left. But yeah, that's it. Once we have like all this in this doc, we're good to go. Okay, so yeah, the next topic is data standardization. Do you want to do the presentation, Rex? I also had a meeting with Griff and we were chatting a little bit, but I can update on that after you do the presentation.
Okay, sure. So, cool. So this is what we've built since last week. We've tried to simplify down the one of the working groups, Gravitas, to a single Excel, and we've included some extra categorizations and information on here, which is this one here. So with the goal of just having one place where the working groups can kind of fill in their information and then create views from that and aggregate, we've also created some of the views from this working group's data. So this one's a Influent Outflow summary that we already had in the other one. I've added this one to a separate one, so I'll take it up a bit. But all of these charts and information are created automatically when the working group kind of adds information onto this one. This was by category. I think it was Bear's idea. So we can kind of give information on where are they spending the most money. But we can see from Gravitas it's administration is the highest cost, but education and operations are increasing, whereas administration kind of staying stagnant. And then also this one, recipient distribution. We're able to see how much money is being and on each person. So that was.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you can see, Zeptimus, you're the second most paid. Well, you need to give me some of that money. Right. And another thing I'd like to show is that we've added some validation rules onto here. So to make it simpler, if they're filling out by token, they can click on here, and it's got all the different tokens they can do. Categories are already preset. And so is projects. So project is one that I'd like to discuss whether to keep or to hide or not. Because I think that it's useful in future. But Bear is saying that it's not needed yet. So I don't know. Let's see.
Great. Yeah, this is amazing. Regarding like my chat with Griff, like it's like we have the agency to do like the best way we think, and yeah, we can agree like making everything by the transparency working group is not scalable as you say before, Rex. But right now there is also not so much working groups. So what I think that would be a good solution is like make this template open. Create not open, like have a template so anyone can fill it. Like make since we are going to make a snapshot vote, like to show transparency around how much every person is making on the DAO. and we need to do a form vote for that, we can also, sneak this document and say like, and in order to make transparency job easier, like it'd be nice like if you guys track your things here, and then we already have it. But if a working group don't want to do it, as long as if they provide the data on T-Work or in a Discord chat or wherever they want, like we can just fill this data like you did here for Gravity. But we can do it manually, like by the transparency people. And if it's in any moment we see like, okay, this is too much working groups, too much people, we cannot track this. Then we can say like, okay, everyone has to do this. But for now, like people is busy enough, and like if you tell them to do more things, probably majority will say, oh yeah, I'll do it, and you will not have any problem. So we can make it open, like you want to do it, and if you don't, it's fine, we will do it for you. But because if someone is not doing it and then you have to be like, hey, did you finish it? Oh, it's pretty annoying, right? And as long as they do their accounting, it doesn't matter how they do it, but we can just pick the data from there and type it by us. Do you think that's a good idea, at least in the short term, short to medium term?
I'd think that we'd save a lot of time if we kind of had consensus to implement the same document everywhere. If you don't think that.
We definitely are going to have this same document for everyone. But what I'm saying is like, it's not going to be built by everyone, but we can do it for them, like as a service.
Yeah, like and then the template is there already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can.
Yeah, we definitely will share it with everyone.
Group by group. We can go and implement it. What's it? Group by group, and kind of move them onto this if they agree. Because yeah, and once we have a couple of groups, we can do an aggregated one, so that it feeds the information from every single other spreadsheet just straight onto one, and it gives us the overviews.
Yeah, and when we have this, all of this set it up, like the audit will be much more easier.
Of course, stuff like nodes, like Gravity are doing like loads, but in reality, like, and transaction links I kept because they already had it, but I hadn't thought of doing that one. One thing that I would suggest is this Discord name. If you want to start seeing like who's getting what, you probably should do them by the Discord hashtag ID, not this, because like say you do this, right? Then in the recipient attribution, you're gonna get 2. Or if you make an error in that one, then you're gonna get like multiple.
I see.
That didn't have to. Yeah. That's kind of.
Yeah, maybe we can say Discord handle. Yeah, we can put those. I have all those handles, so it's fine. I mean, Aragon is an institution. They do not have a handle. It's down, the last one. And if you scroll down, the last one. Yeah, Aragon, it's a DAO.
Okay.
So they do not have a handle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it needs to establish either like Discord hashtag first. So obviously wallet ID is always standard. So if we were to have that.
Yeah, we can have it, and then we can do it for Gravity, but people will see it like Discord handle, so it's cool. They just had the handle and that's it.
Yeah. What you could do as well is have recipient and on the other one, an optional column being Discord handle, right? So
You want to add the wallet?
or either. No, I mean you can have. Yeah, we need to think through how to do this one. So I think that it would make sense if you had Discord handle, and then in the case that they don't have a Discord handle, then you write something else.
Mm-hmm.
You can have wallet ID. I'm not opposed to it. I don't mind on that one. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
adding an
mean,
extra column,
yeah.
but if you want to keep it simple,
Yeah, I
I
actually
don't.
would like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better.
There we are. So yeah,
I mean, what the rest
application
think?
set.
Like,
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
to be like my opinion or yours.
Alien bear. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And what you guys are saying, yeah, I think if working groups they don't have the time to do it or whatever, I think we can do it. So yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, and I just think we might need just to maybe work on a little details that Rex and I were talking about, like like the date format. I think that would be important to have like what's it called, to agree
Yeah,
type of.
and normally they like it like the American form. I know like it's a pain in the ass. I don't like it, but everyone used Americans one. So for
Okay.
this 5 August 1930, it's good too.
Yeah, I think it's good that the month shows like with letters, so it's kind of easier.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's easier
And
for everyone, like Europeans and Americans. But then
Okay.
for the numbers, like for the commas, like I normally use a comma after the number, but people use a dot
right.
in
Yeah, I don't know.
most parts of the world.
Okay.
But yeah, for the months, definitely, like I like this way, like 2022 February. That's everyone's understand that.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if maybe Ivy wants to give more like a general uh, comments on it. For me, more like talking about like the project column and maybe looking at the graphs a little bit. But maybe Ivy first if she wants.
Can you put the link in the document because it's too small for me to read on the share screen?
I've got an edit link, an anonymous edit link, so I'll send it to you over DM.
Yeah. In the meantime, maybe we can take a look at the graphs. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think like yeah, definitely like
This one I've replicated now.
make sure like this document is finished,
So
and then we have like an empty template. Like so, basically, like we can make the forum post and share the empty template. So anyone, it'd be great if the other working groups do it for us. But if
Yeah.
some working groups don't do it, it's fine. Like it's not a big deal. It's like 10 transactions a month maximum for a working group. Like it's a couple of hours for us.
Yeah, I think that the most work probably would do like to do all the transactions from like the 3 previous months, like to
Yeah,
I forgot the word, but like to catch up, right? We need to catch up, but
yeah, do the catch up. Yeah.
it doesn't take long, yeah. So, for example, for the project column, I was telling Rex that I still don't quite, for example, here for gravity, for how I see it, it can be like a subcategory, but this moment I don't really know what could we add there. I was thinking it more about like projects, like for example in Omega, that they have like the consilience library. That for me, that's kind of like a project that they have, and that's their only like funded project that they have. So maybe it could work there. But here in Gravity, I still don't give it like a good use. I don't know what you guys think.
I
I think
mean,
with category, like the category column, maybe should be enough. Also, like to make it simpler. I don't know.
yeah, I kind of agree. Like category should be enough, but it's also, yeah. I mean, I don't have a strong opinion, but I like what Bert says about keeping things simple. But I don't know. I love to hear from you, Rex. Like, why put using like this project tab? It's important. Like in the future. Like I know, like you said, right now it's not so important, but in the future might be. And it's good
Yeah,
to have it
exactly.
there if it's going to have like a
You can, so we can have it there, and if projects don't need it, they hide it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So it's a right click, hide column, and then doesn't bother them. But I know that some of the working groups do run on projects, some of them don't. So, and as working groups get bigger, they're gonna naturally split into projects. So that's why that one is there as a future proofing.
okay.
See, I hit the other balances as well. So those, because this group doesn't do any of these, I just hit them.
Yeah, I mean, I think ideally everyone does do that.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's this column is a nice to have, but it's not necessary because I think we can just keep it simple. Like the information that we'll be presenting as much as possible is like similar across all working groups. Like for example, the category. I think the categories are the same for all working groups, but projects are different. Like yeah, just my idea. Like maybe we can just keep it simple and remove the column that's not similar across all the working groups.
Sure. I can push it to the end. I can remove it, and if we are to need it, then we can edit then. And, yeah. There we go.
So, do you have one of those but empty?
What's that?
Like an empty template? Like now, this is like the job done for Gravity, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice if we have an empty one that all the working groups can just copy.
But I mean,
They copy the document and then they give it to us.
yeah. So for the template, problem with the template, if we don't have any transactions on it, is that they won't be able to see how it works because all of these are going to be empty. It's just going to show no
Yeah,
data whatsoever.
I mean, I think we can use this Gravity one to show how it looks.
Well,
But then it's also having a second one, like it's empty, so it's like people only typing information there.
what I was thinking in regards to that. Maybe we can like do like a template one, but like with fake amounts and with fake Discord handles, and like that it's filled so people see how it actually works, but that they can remove everything and just like start filling their own information.
just like 10
Yes,
rows.
exactly. Like 10 transactions, and that's it.
Yeah, that could also work.
That sounds good.
But we should give an indication like delete those or something.
Yeah.
So it's clear.
Okay.
And then for the graph, do we want to take a look at them?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take a look at them one by one. So this one's your
I have one question. Those documents are supposed to be used like yearly, like every year, every working group will use a new one, or
yeah.
okay.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Another
Yeah.
thing that I didn't mention, sorry, is what another thing that we could do, and that I haven't played around with, is we can, instead of having an Excel, we can you've used the Google what's the name of it? The you know the Google formularios, those ones,
Oh,
The
yeah.
forms.
Google Forms. That's right. Um, you can so another alternative, instead of having groups fill out this, is to provide a Google form and then them fill them out that way. That would populate this automatically from the Google form entry and give the other things. But that one's like, I'm impartial to that one. It won't take too long. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's something that we can do. Not sure what you guys think.
I mean, I think the more information you have, like, is better. Like, what is for me super important. Like, it gets less information to fill by the people, but then if we use this data they are giving us, like to get more information, yeah, great.
It's 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 not about kind of more data or less data. It's just a matter of do we want them to have to use this, go down to the bottom, and kind of fill it out? I don't know. 6th of June.
Oh, I see. Yeah, ideally it's on the top.
Okay.
Every time, like, if the data can be on the top, it's the best. But I don't know if
Yeah.
that's possible. Like, if the last transaction is on top, that would be like the better.
We can. So if I do it this way, you can sort it separately that way. But well, then when they have to use it, they have to insert a row.
Yeah.
And the balance is completely broken because it's
Yeah, maybe keep it simple. Like, it's just a year, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and about using like the Google form, I don't really know how would it look like. Maybe at some point we can like give it a try and see if it makes things easier. I don't quite understand like what would be like the difference or the benefit of doing it, but we can try it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can give it a try and show you. I just can't find the button. But yes, it would. Well, I'll show you another time then. But let's
Yeah, sounds
keep on
good.
going with this kind of format.
Yeah, I think like we can keep it simple. Put like the working groups, just fill it like in the last one, because yeah, it's the easiest way. And then every year, like, they make a new doc, and that's it.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you think like that's good? Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just for the graphs, can we just like review them real quick?
Yeah, it's like the. I mean, yeah. If you can just show them, but I feel like it was like the inflow, outflow, treasury. Yeah, I know. Do you want to show them, Rex?
Yeah, I just because in my mind, what I was thinking, I don't know what you guys think. Because Rex, do we have right now like two tabs with graphs? That's correct, right?
Recipient
mean?
distribution and metadata. No, it's just metadata, right? Recipient distribution is the. Oh no.
So,
No, it's
so if I
Oh,
show,
graphs. Graphs are the third tab.
so I haven't done one with just graphs. I've done it split it.
Yeah.
So outflow and inflow details is kind of the place you'd fill out,
Yeah.
and then inflow and outflow
there.
summary gives them outflows per month, inflows per month, cash flow overview, which is the three net inflow and outflow, and then the remaining budget, because I saw these were the ones that Gravitas already had. Categories graphs are the ones where you can see spending spending by each working group. Spending per category.
One thing.
Or as a total.
Yeah, so like what I was thinking is that maybe we could just keep all the graphs like in the first tab, so we just have one. My idea was maybe we would be creating kind of like a dashboard with all the graphs that the group needs. And here on this tab, actually, I don't know what you guys think, but what I was thinking is that like the inflow and outflow graph, it's actually showing the same information than the cash flow overview. So maybe we could remove like the first two and just keep the cash flow overview so we have less graphs.
Yes.
And just bring the one that shows category expenses over here. So then we will have like three graphs, like super neat and clear, and kind of like build the dashboard for the working group.
Yeah, it should be simple as copy and paste.
Can we also add the currency? If it's
The
like
cash flow overview.
XDAI or TEC. I know that they're all in XDAI, but at first look, people will be wondering if we're talking about TEC here. Or
So the cash flow, the inflow and outflow summary you see here, I've added token here. So the table will already split. So if I go here and change this one to TC, inflow and outflow summary now shows TC as well as XDAI.
Yeah, but I mean the graph itself. Is it possible to indicate there in the graph itself, like let's say outflows, those numbers, or they? It would be nice to say that these numbers are in XI or in TBC.
Yeah, I think we can just add them like in brackets and next to the title or something, and that should be good, right?
Yeah. So having a smart one where it like actually checks. Okay, this one is done. Like, I changed xDAI to xDAI /wrapped xDAI. Right, it's back. Cool. Yeah, so you can have outflows per month in xDAI. If you wanted it to be cash flow overview for each of the tokens, they need to populate that, and then you can create a chart from that one. Because
what about the inflows with, there was an inflow from Gravity that it's in TC.
Yeah, that's also my question. What if in the cash flow there is some TEC and then there's some XI? Will they be like separate graphs or?
So at the moment I haven't created graphs.
Mm-hmm.
They'll show. So the pivot table here in the inflow and outflow summary does change. If I order the tokens by descending. There we go. Okay, so if I add, so there isn't a TC one at the moment, but if I go and change this Gitcoin grant to give to TC, on the inflow and outflow summary, it does show here the information.
Yeah, but it's not reflected in the charts, right?
No, the charts are fixed. It's not. You're not gonna. So the pivot table is smart, but the charts won't show that unless.
I mean, ideally, it's like the Dune, where you see like every token with every balance.
Yeah, and I think we would have to probably build another graph for each token, if I'm right, because they.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because it's kind of different.
Yeah. So the dune, as in the actual information, is shown in the pivot table, but the chart needs to be created manually. Yeah, which is selecting and inserting a chart. There we go. Right, and there's your chart for TEC now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know.
But
I really like it more like how we have it in Dune right now.
that it's not basically not possible unless.
I will get rid of the graph then. Like instead of getting wrong information, or I think like we can just get the. I mean, that's my opinion. But yeah, I think like the graphs are not cool if they are like potentially misleading information.
It's not even misleading. It's just not going to show.
It's
that
just
in the
XDAI,
data.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, like gravity is holding, and that's a problem I had with the last gravity budget. Like I had TC, and I was like, how the hell I represent that? But
Okay.
probably like having
So-
the table is enough, like.
So
And
in the transaction summary that I got, I didn't see any TC, so they're on the next day.
Yeah, it's because like let me show my screen. It's on this other browser.
So I also have another question, Zepti or Rex. I don't know. How about the conversions? Are they also gonna go into this sheet?
No.
Like I know the stewards working group is getting they will receive XA, but I think the outflow will be in TEC. So I don't know how. So if that information should be reflected on this sheet as well.
Yeah.
What the cost of. Oh, what they're doing is turning TC into XDAI and then sending it.
Yep.
Well, then you have a transfer cost.
And see, yeah.
There.
It's making everything more complicated, actually.
So for that, I've also been thinking about this, and I think that the possible solution that could be done, because tokens and what working groups start having, like in terms of tokens, in my mind, it's kind of like an asset. So probably, because this is just like a tracking sheet for all the movements, right? We can track the different ins and outflows of transactions. But maybe what we could do also, but it's also kind of like more work, it's a balance sheet that actually shows the different assets that each working group has. So for example, I was building one for gravity, and in the asset section, it includes, like, for example, the amount of cash, then in this case we can say it's XI, but also the other different tokens that they have. So I added there that they have like the TEC, and you can add any other token that you have, right? So that could be a way to keep it registered, all the different tokens that they have, but it's kind of like I don't know, would be like another document probably in my mind. I don't know.
So the way I've built this out is, oh, I'm not showing my screen anymore. Okay. I'll do entire screen. Right. The way I've built this out is, so the inflow and outflow details gives you a category, and in this case, it's only given TC given XDAI. But I built a metadata sheet that gets those 3 tokens with. So if if you're getting ETH from the coin grants, added ETH there, and now it just appears here. So if they had numerous assets, this spreadsheet expands to that already.
Yeah, I think that should be.
Yeah, that's awesome, actually.
Yeah, that's great. I think that should be enough, right? Maybe we won't be able to create graphs with it, but at least they will be like on the pivot table.
They won't be smart graphs. So if I go ahead and add and change this, as I said, to TC, this one to Ethereum, the actual data here. So yeah, I'll move the graphs elsewhere.
Yeah, that's great.
The actual data here, you can see TC is now showing up, Ethereum is now showing up. Right, this grand total one needs to change that, to change the way the pivot table behavior works, because it's just adding them one to one at the moment. But you can see that it gives you inflow, outflow, and then the total balance. So, well, like inflow 3,000. There you go.
Ideally, the grand total gives you the balance in it is that, balance in TC is that, balance in total inflow in each token.
The grand total is not working properly because it's saying that 1 XDAI is 1 TC is 1 Ethereum.
Yeah.
So this one, I need to take it out basically.
We need like 3 different grand totals for each token.
The grand totals are here. This one.
Oh yeah.
I think that's better.
Okay. So
Yeah, that's great.
I'm just hiding it at the moment, and I'm not sure actually how it behaves if I now remove XDAI. What happens there? Yeah, no, that doesn't work how you intend it to. It stays the same. But I'll have to find a different way of removing this grand total. This is the one that's wrong. But, in any case, so it'd be right. We can have it because most of the working groups actually operate in XDAI, right? So you can have this, and then the charts just be XDAI. And in the case that they operate in something else, then we can do something more bespoke for them.
I honestly would, unless we have like a good graph data input, I would just get I don't think the graphs like the community have like the graphs on Dune, right?
Well,
I would just get rid of those. Like if those are not being unless we find a solution, right? Like if we find a solution to get all the data correctly, that's great. But then we also need to work on another sheet, like it's integrating all of those, right? Probably we can have like
once we have a couple.
Yeah, I would keep like those 2 graphs and also like one for categories, like those 3. I think they are great. Like if we only specify that they are in XDAI, I think that should be.
But still, categories will be paying in TC. Categories will be, and it's not like one DAI is not one TC.
Oh yeah, no, I get that, but probably I think that we could maybe start I think we'll find a solution eventually. I don't think it's that complicated, And
Yeah, but what I'm
for
trying to
now, I
say
think
is, meanwhile we find the solution, we just get rid of those because it's
because
incomplete.
these ones are accurate actually. Like they, if we just like state that they are in X die, that these graphs are like for X die,
They're
I don't
accurate.
see that.
They're accurate in gravity for now, but they will not be accurate in stewards. Like my
Yeah.
my stewards will be not accurate. Will be misleading information.
Okay.
But I don't think it will be using a lot of different tokens in one working group. But so maybe I think
Exactly.
it's manageable to put graphs for each token. I don't know how much
Yeah, but
work it's gonna
but remember that ideally this gets done by the working groups themselves, and you are asking like the working groups, depending which token you're using, you should create a graph, and it's like adding more work.
Well,
Like
so for the stewards,
I think if we get all this data and we then have like our own sheet and we can manage this sheet better. But this one, like it's like the one like people's using, keep it as simple as possible so they and then we can play with the aggregated one. And then actually sample will be looking at the aggregated one. Like sample will not be looking at this one.
Yeah. So I'll take these out for now.
yeah. Well, I just really like those graphs. I mean,
The category
me
spending
too.
one and nice.
I love
Yeah.
looking at graphs. It's
But
easier to
yeah,
see
but
Yes,
and
you,
exactly.
compare the
you,
data. Yeah.
you have them in Dune, and in Dune is more accurate because it's
Well,
easier to
no,
do,
the
or GH
category
know how to
spending
do
one you're
it. I don't
not
know.
gonna have. The category spending one you're not gonna have in Doom. So
Yeah,
these
because
ones are
No,
like
no, this one no.
the idea of creating like a dashboard here in just one tab with all the graphs, I think that was gonna be like super useful and helpful for working groups, and it's all visual. And yeah, I just think that I just think it's really worth it to have them. Actually, those three graphs for me, that would be maybe I don't know what's the difference between these two racks, but one
the
of those.
difference. This one's just a total, and this is just per month. That's all the difference.
Oh,
As
okay,
those three.
nice. Yeah, okay.
It's to be honest, either or. It's like I'll put the one per month there.
Yeah,
The
yeah. I
remaining
think
budget, I think this one's in Dune. I don't think
because what we also
the
want to
cash
do is like
flows.
to
Yeah.
concentrate all the info in one document, right? Like I don't think it's really helpful. Like you will have this sheet, but then the working group has to go to Dune to look at the graphs and find them somewhere,
Right.
and the graphs are not that neat and they are not that clear, I think. So
Okay.
I don't know.
I
In my
mean,
opinion, I insist on
about
keeping them.
like about clearness, it's sure like the Dune are clear. Like all the information in Dune is accurate. Here, not. So the only thing I'm trying to say is like I think we should not confuse people and adding workload to them, like because it's not going. You give this shit to stewards and they put their info in there, and they will see graph like they represent nothing to them.
But like if stewards will use TEC and if they won't use die, then it's fine, right? Like it will work.
No, it won't. It will show nothing to them.
So the Dune dashboards
Because
for
it's
three
one
components.
token, right? I don't see why it wouldn't work.
I mean, they need to change the formula, and then I mean, I
Because
feel.
the
Mhm.
graphs will show like in TEC instead of die, but it would be kind of like the same.
So the
I mean,
the,
you have to build it. The
so
graph,
just a
like it's.
sec,
Mhm.
guys. So I've been looking
Go down,
at Dune
scroll
quite a
down,
bit, right?
scroll
But
down.
the
More,
stuff
more.
for
This one, top. Scroll
so
up a little bit. This one. If you in this one you can see which.
so this is balance right now for each of the working groups.
Yeah.
And then you can see movements in this format, right? So, so, so this, so this is multi-sig treasuries, tribute distribution. That's not it.
No, it's only this
Treasuries
one.
inflow and outflow.
It's only
Doesn't
like the only
there
one
is
that we
no
have.
there is
The
no
only one we
chart.
have is the Treasury Commons multisig, and it aggregates all the value from the ETH, the TC, all the tokens are there and are
Yeah.
linked to I don't know if it's using Subgraph or
But
just
this one,
blockchain.
so this one is basically this, right? So obviously anything we add on top of that is stuff that they don't have already. So actually, these charts are novel to them because this is a view for per working group.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Or
I mean, I kind of agree. Like the graphs are great, but if we either make this shit that it works for all the tokens, or we don't show it because we have like imagine like when working groups get a Gitcoin grant, they will have Pambala, they will have ETH, they will have DAI, they will have XDAI, they will have a lot of tokens,
yeah,
right? Like, and it's eventually what is happening, right? Like, look at Gravity. Gravity, I mean, they are not accounting the grants yet, but eventually they will. It's the same for like the TC Commons, like we have a grants, and there is a lot of tokens there. And I mean, in the TC one, we decided just to, sell all the tokens, may become them XDAI, and then send it to the common pool, and that's it. So in this case, it's easy, but Gravity can just hold tokens of other projects if they want, and
So
we don't need to obligate anyone. Like you cannot obligate like everyone. Sell all your tokens, put it on XDAI, so this shit works because
oh no, exactly. That's what I meant. Like, I think it's important to consider that this sheet is for like the actual operations of each working group. So I don't think it would be like that viable to have the operations happening in different tokens, right? If we want to reflect like the different tokens that working groups have, we might have to make like another document that serves that purpose. So for now, just like focus on and this was something I think we were talking with Gideon, like right now we want to focus like on the different analysis of the operations of each working group. And if working groups are operating in XDAI, or let's say if stewards operate in TEC, I guess that's fine. I don't think they will operate like in 5 different tokens, right? Like their actual operations. I don't know. That's just a thought.
it
if what
depends on
you're
work
telling me that
agreements.
stewards themselves, if what you're telling me is that stewards sell TC, so they, in reality, the way it should work for stewards, if what they're doing is selling TC, buying XDAI, and then sending XDAI out, there would be a transaction cost of nothing to turn it from XDAI to TC. So you'd have an inflow, you'd have an outflow of TC, inflow in XDAI, and outflow, and a subsequent outflow in XDAI to all of these people, right? So that's the way it should be accounted for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're not sending XDAI out. They're not sending TC out. Sorry, they're sending XDAI.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
that would work for stewards, but again, like I think it depends on work agreements. Like if eventually, like it's something like I'm not doing because it's like a small project. But for transparency, I at some point I was thinking, holding some Bitcoin, holding some ETH, or some tokens that generate revenue in the long term. So we also have some inflows if we do treasury management. Uh, well. Of course, you can also lose money. That's why I'm not doing it. But then you can have, and you can also like have like work agreement with people. Like maybe, like we can say like recordings are 10 DAI, or we can say recordings are 0.0001 whatever Bitcoin, no matter the price, right? And then you can move around those. And I think like we should build a document that work around those lines because it's what is going to happen actually on the DAO. Like what we're building here, we want it to be replicate for other DAOs. Like it's not like we're doing it just for the TDC. Like everything we're building is to be replicate. So if we create a shit that that it's good for everyone in every commons everywhere, that's what we want. I mean, we are trying. Like, of course, like we are not solve all the transparency issues for all the DAOs in the world, but at least try our best to accomplish that. That's our goal,
So,
actually.
Yeah, and I also think that each working group will, and also like each DAO, what you're saying, Septi, will have like different needs, and there will have to be some kind of personalization of the sheet at some point. Like, for example, token type, categories as well might change.
But
So that will be like some work that the working group that
but
actually uses it will
if
have to do, right?
but no, that's not correct. I mean, correct me, Rex, if I'm wrong. But what we're trying to do is like standardize the data so we can use this data for all. Like if we have like all this, like if a working group have a new category, what we should do is like add this category in the metadata or somewhere. Like Rex, probably the expert here. But the idea
yeah,
is
so
like,
you do that then.
yeah, so
Now,
you can
the,
integrate all those sheets in one.
so the sheet itself already extends to what you're talking about multiple tokens, as I've shown.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
doesn't
I
what
know, I
doesn't
know,
extend
I know.
is the charts, and the charts is something that
But
showing some
uh,
suggestions, but we're not going to be able to like standardize charts, right? Everybody needs to see exactly this and only this. Those ones are going to need to adapt. There's
Mhm.
some
I mean, I feel like we
if the
could do.
working group only wants to see stuff in Bitcoin, then they need to do that. It's like you won't get that, and you get less than that in doing at the moment from what we're seeing. Like it gives you the Excel. That's about it for now.
Yeah,
So
I mean, basically, honestly, what I would do is like get rid of the charts because they're giving misinformation. But like, if there is very strong opinions on that, like what we should do is advice process on the community. Like, I don't know if any of you want to open a forum post.
So
I'm
my
I'm, I'm already pretty workload a bit, so I would
so
just get. Mhm.
I have to jump off, guys. Sorry.
Oh, we are 10
Yeah.
minutes past the hours. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's an
Okay.
amazing call. Yeah. See you, Ivy.
Okay. Thanks, Titan.
mm,
Thanks, everyone.
thanks.
yeah, so just real quick, Septi, I guess we're leaving now. I don't know. How about you guys? I just wanted to say that maybe something we could do is to actually present it in Gravity and just ask them like, is this actually useful for you? Do you think it provides you like good value, good insights, and see what happens? Because like, okay, maybe like you're saying, it doesn't work for every working group, but this one actually that we just built, I think it could work for Gravity itself. So if it works for them, I don't see why we shouldn't just like use them in that working group to make like kind of like advice processing in the working group itself.
I mean,
Okay.
if the working group want a spreadsheet like they can create themselves, like we are like like which is also important. Like right now we are bringing the transparency hat, and what we are building is like for transparency for the community. We're not providing accounting services to Gravity. Like it's not our mission. Like uh, and if Gravity wants some accounting system especially for them, they should build it. But our goal is to make something that works for everyone, and then especially for sample. And
Okay. So I agree with you, and I say to that I say first of all it's 3 charts, so it really doesn't matter because it takes like 2 minutes to build. Second, every working group is using XDAI. Others are going to be using other things, so we're not going to
yeah,
build the other charts, but we'll leave the XDAI ones here.
but listen one second. Like we know we can get all this data from the community, and and when we have like the final, the document that gathers all of them, we can build the graph we want, and we can change them every time we want. Like for this audit, we are going to build the charts this way, and we present them. And for
Yeah.
the next audit, oh look, this is like in this there is a lot of balance in TC, and that needs to be included. So, on the audit, since on the audit, we can do is say on 31 of March, the TC price was that, and we can say all this data is based on 31 of March or whatever month we want, but we can get all the data there and play with the graph in this other document. This one we actually don't need it. I know it's cool for the working groups to see
So
it, but
let's keep it as suggestions then. So just suggestions of some of the things you can do, because I think the visual and seeing this isn't going to catch much attention, but seeing it in a graph form does, and it's going to get us more votes. We can present. Let's present it to. I suggest this. Let's present it to Gravitas as is. Ask them for their opinion, and see whether we keep these, which are going to work for everybody, or whether we don't. I think.
I mean, the thing is it's misleading because for gravity, of course, it works. I mean, actually, for gravity, it do not work because this is misleading. This graph you're showing right now is not accurate.
How so?
Because if you go to the inflows, you're saying there is a 3K inflow that right now is 2K because it's holding
So-
TDC.
Well, that's because this was.
Yeah, I know. I feel that, and I know I know there's a mistake. But if you look at the reality right now in the blockchain,
I can't do magic.
these 3Ks right now are 2 point something. This is not accurate even for gravity.
This one was filled in TC. So if that, obviously we can't do magic. Okay, so the kind of stuff we're saying isn't that the charts are wrong, but that how do I put this? But the actual Excel, the information is built here is incorrect. If the information there is incorrect, of course the charts are going to be wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, the only thing you need to do, if you want to get it correct, it's
TC.
No, it's not 3000. It's 1582.3. I can TM you the number.
Was this
This is the number of TC that the gravity is holding. So the Aragon buys this amount.
Was this bought from XDAI or was it given to them?
But basically, Aragon sent the money to Juan bought TC, and then send it back to the gravity multisig.
So actually, all of those three movements, they should be recorded here, right? Separately.
Yeah.
That's why. This is that's what I was saying. This is a recording sheet. Only that.
I don't think it's necessary to put all the movements.
Oh yeah, that's in my mind. That's the purpose.
I think it's
if you have an agreement,
I think that it's more misleading to not record all the movement than to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say, Aragon sent me this money, breach it, and did that, and but this is adding work, and in reality, what happened is Aragon bought us 1050K of TC, and that's it.
No, but they didn't buy it. We actually bought it, right?
Yeah, well, it's the same. It's with Aragon. We bought it with Aragon money.
But the decision was made by us, right?
Yeah, by gravity. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say then the name there should be Gravity, right? That was a transaction that Gravity did.
Yeah.
So we would say on the 30th of April, Aragon sent 3,000 XDAI. Then on May 1st, Gravity decided to take 1,000 DAI and spend it on TEC, right? So those are different transactions that we will have to record there.
The only reason we did that is because Aragon was not, initially what Juan suggested is Aragon buy the TC and sell the TC. But since Aragon said no, we just did it manually.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's totally good. But I would say that that's the purpose of this sheet, to track all of those movements that are happening. to have like the as most transparency as we can.
But I mean, what's the difference? Like Aragon sending you 10 TC than sending it, and okay, Aragon says no to that, so you just
But if we had a
because
category and it'd be transfer between tokens,
and actually,
Yeah.
like Gravity doesn't need to be transparent how much funds they're receiving for their clients. They're doing it as a transparency inside Gravity, but not as a transparency inside TC.
But
Actually,
then
mhm.
how would the members of Gravity would know that that transaction happened? They would have to go to the blockchain and try to find it, right? It wouldn't be like kind of public.
that's
I mean,
right.
I feel
And
like
it would be
that's
kind
Gravity's
that
business.
that's more
Like,
misleading. That's misleading, not the charts. Like actually, kind of not showing the transactions and writing whatever. Like the moment you allow for that, then this document is no longer useful.
which one?
So this document we're filling out here, the minute you stop recording the transactions as they are, then
Yeah.
it's not useful anymore
Because
it doesn't give you the information, right? So if
I
you're saying a
mean,
transfer, we can
this
add a
is
category.
but this is actually like what happened. Like Aragon sent this money to TC.
yeah, but
Okay,
like
so
we're hearing that from you, Septi. Like that's the thing, right? Like we are not looking at the
I mean, you can watch it on the blog
transactions.
scout. You can watch it on the blog scout too. The
Exactly.
that's not the
information
point.
is there.
That's my point. Yeah, it's all on the blockchain, right? But it's not like in
Yeah.
a public sheet.
But yeah, but is it needed since it's in the blockchain? Like, is it really
So
needed to add it here? Honestly, like in my opinion, it doesn't need
Because
to be added.
if that's the case,
transparency.
then all of this doesn't really matter, right? Because all of these transactions are on the blockchain.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
the
you have
goal
the
of
deal for some,
transparency.
like. But the thing is, like, we're building this just to get more data accuracy. Like, it's the
Yeah.
only reason we're building it. It's otherwise, like, we can use Dune and all the data is there. But
Look,
Dune have like their own limitations, and that's why we are adding it here.
Septi, I'm not sure how you did the audit report the first time around, but it's my understanding that kind of going through this document and going through the blockchain transactions, comparing that to something that we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now, if the transactions aren't recorded on this document, then it becomes a pain in the neck to do exactly that. And you may know because
But
you're in Gravitas.
no, but
I don't know.
we are,
How are we supposed to know all of this? Are we supposed to ask the team members for what exactly happened on this transaction 2.5 months ago? Why is there 3 transactions rather than 1?
But
Yeah.
we're miss. Gravity is a project. This is another. Like there's different things. What Gravity, when Gravity gets money, Gravity doesn't need to send this money or give any details to TC, right?
But it's a working group, right, on the TC.
But Gravity, yeah, but and it's like I'm a member of the TC. Do I need to report everything I do? Of course not. The only thing I need to report I do is like what I'm doing with the TC money. And Gravity needs to be accountable for what they are doing with the TC money. But what they get from the external world is their business, not ours.
Well, in that case, then Gravity should have 2 separate wallets. One for
Yeah.
the TEC money, and one for the external funding not associated to TEC money. Because the minute you put non-TEC money within the TEC Gravity wallet, then that needs to be accounted for. Because it's part of the same money pool.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
for in my understanding, like part of Gravity's kind of goal, I would say, it's also at some point to contribute to the to adding funds to the common pool, right? With their revenue. That's my understanding. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think so.
So
In
maybe
my understanding, not, but I could be wrong.
right? So then maybe all the money that gravity starts generating will be for, especially for the multisig of gravity and not for the TEC. I mean, yeah, I would say those are really, really, really important questions to clarify, because right now, I can think that at least like my feeling around the community is that the TEC was kind of like considering gravity as a possible revenue stream for the TEC.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the case then.
Okay. So
No. I mean, Gravity is trying
can
to
we?
create their own DAO. This is something like I hear in plenty of calls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we kind of? So
I mean,
it's gone over the time. So can we discuss
Yeah.
this? And is it this one or this one? The one that we're going to
coordination
this or
call. Coordination call
Okay.
would be the one.
that? Okay. So let's leave these questions as they are. And can you, Septi, can you add like an item for us on gravity? And we can show them this. Just to
I mean, we should
get
DM, like, I think we should DM Juan. I think you can do it yourself. You have the agency. Like, just send the DM to Juan if you're really interested about the topic. The only thing I would actually need is like a template, an empty template. So then I can make the form post.
Yeah, sure. Am I getting paid for this? Or am I no? When am I getting paid for this?
I mean, the budget, you said like 250, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the job's done. I mean, I don't know. If you want to pass hours
sure.
this month, you can also do it.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll pass the hours for the, once we get this gravity one over then.
Okay. No, but actually, it should be like today or tomorrow, since we're probably doing payments on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can chat on DMs with that. That's not a
That
problem.
sounds good. All right.
That was a great call, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See you around.
That was great. And yeah, so you're going to be at Gravity, right, Septimus? Bert,
Yeah.
do you go to the Gravity calls as well?
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there too, Rex. Yeah, no worries.
Ok, so nos vemos el miércoles entonces. Seguimos hablando en inglés, aunque se fue la...
Sí.
Es cierto.
La costumbre. Nos vemos. Chao, chao.
Listo. Bye.